Hola estudiantes, hoy tus apuntes sobre los mandatos de usted, ustedes y nosotros. ¿Cómo formar un mandato de usted afirmativo y negativo? Con los mandatos informales o los mandatos de tú hay dos tipos, afirmativos y negativos, pero con mandatos de usted solamente hay una forma de formar un mandato para afirmativos y los negativos. Para decir a alguien que es una persona usted, cualquier que tú quieres que esa persona hacer o no hacer, usa un mandato formal. Por ejemplo, tu mamá o tu papá, tus abuelos o una policía o un doctor. Alguien que es un usted. Para formar un mandato usted, empieza con la forma de yo, quita la O y añade el final opuesto de la forma usted. Por ejemplo, los verbos que terminan en AR termina en E y verbos que terminan en ER y IR termina en A. So as you can see, usted commands are very similar to the negative to commands. Go to the yo, drop the O, add the opposite usted form ending. But you do this with any kind of usted command, whether it's affirmative, telling someone, hey, do this, or whether it's negative. You still go to the yo, drop the O, opposite usted form ending. Un poema, for commands about usted, don't lose your head. Go to the yo, drop the O, and add the opposite instead. Entonces hay ejemplos aquí. Apoyar, yo apoyo. Quita la O, and it becomes usted apoye. So support, or no apoye, don't support. Hacer es irregular, es un verbo de go. Entonces hago becomes haga. Elegir es irregular también. The A turns into an E, and then the G goes to a J, so you have elijo becomes elija. Los verbos que terminan en cargar, zar, y hair. We are very used to these verbs, cars, gars, and zars, and now the verbs that end in hair. They always have those spelling changes when you put on these opposite endings, just like two commands. Sacar would go to saco, and then become saque. Car would have to go to K with a ku-u. Llegar would turn into llegue. Organizar turns into organice with a se. Recoger, notice the jota, recoja. Y seguir. Seguir is always a little bit difficult because it changes to E to I, and it drops the U in the yo form. The yo form is sigo, not siguo. Therefore, it becomes siga with no U. Okay, los mandatos de ustedes, again, affirmativos y negativos. When you're talking to two or more people and telling them what to do or not to do, empieza con la forma de yo del presente, quita la O y añade el opuesto, becoming a very much of a pattern at this point. Entonces, muchos ejemplos aquí. Apoyar, if you're telling a bunch of people, hey, you guys, support this. Apoyen. Hacer, hagan. Elegir, elijan. Sacar, saquen. Llegar, lleguen. Organizar, organicen. Y recoger, recojan. Notice the jota. Finalmente, los mandatos de nosotros, afirmativos y negativos. Cuando quieres usar un mandato de nosotros, es como un invitado. It's like an invitation. You're asking people to join you in a certain activity. In inglés, decimos let's. Like, let's do this. So if you want to say let's with a verb, we have to do a nosotros command. It's the same process. Go to the yo form first, then for AR verbs, put on the opposite ending, amos. ERs and IRs, put on amos. Muchos ejemplos. Let's buy, compremos. Let's eat, comamos. Let's write, escribamos. Let's play, toquemos. Let's delegate, deleguemos. Oh, perdón, I'm missing my A right there, deleguemos. Let's organize, organicemos. Let's collect, recojamos. The following verbs are irregular. Usted, ustedes, nosotros commands. So remember, with 2 affirmative commands, we have to memorize Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. When they were -2 commands, that's when we had the dishes. With irregular usted, ustedes commands and nosotros, now you have your sides. S-I-D-E-S. The sides. Ser, ir, dar, estar, saber. These are completely irregular, but think about that. Just like we decided on the dishes, those had to be irregular. If I went to the yo form of these verbs, I would not be able to simply drop the O and add the opposite ending because they're so irregular. Ser goes to soy, so I could not just all of a sudden drop the O and put on a or on or amos. It just wouldn't work with that Y being there. So with these verbs, they're so irregular in their yo forms that they have whole new conjugations. So when you're talking to someone in the usted form and you want to tell them like, hey, be nice, you would say sea simpático. You're talking to a group of people using ustedes, sean simpático. And then finally nosotros, like let's be, seamos. Notice how that looks very similar to the 2 negative command of ser, which again was seas. Ir also looks similar. It's vaya, vayan, and then vamos. Vamos is interesante. We'll talk about it more on the next slide. Dar. Dar is going to go to de con acento. Think about why that has to have an acento on it. The word de sin acento significa of or from. So I have to add an acento aquí to show the difference. Den, no acento. Demos, no acento. Estar goes to esté con acento y estén con acento. Estemos, no acento. Think about that. This and these have the T's, right? So I have to put an acento here to distinguish from este. Same thing with estén, have to make that distinguish. Lastly, saber goes to sepa, sepan, y sepamos. Your sides look very similar to your dishes. Like I said before, the only exception is ir. To say, let's go, we can simply say, vamos. But when you want to say, let's not go, you do need to say, no vayamos. So there's a difference there. That's why in class, I'm always saying, vamos, let's go. I don't say vayamos, but if I wanted to say for some reason, let's not go, it would be no vayamos. The nosotros command is the same as using vamos a infinitive. So when you're talking to someone, you want to say, let's eat at a restaurant. Comamos a un restaurante. You gave a command. Or I could simply use ir plus a plus infinitive, like you've been doing since Español 1. Vamos a comer a un restaurante. Either way would work. Es todo. Entonces, es el fin de los apuntes de Unidad 2, Lección 1.